Welcome to Twin Opinion. I'm Max Cal, this is Carl Asami, and today we're gonna reveal our top secret project.
Can I finally see it?
You sure can.
This is gonna be awesome. This is just like a crappier version of the spaceship of the imagination.
It is, built with only a fraction of the power and imagination as the original.
Wow. Wait a minute. Did Dr. Light help design this? Dr. Wily's always stealing his inventions. How in the heck are we supposed to protect this thing?
Don't you worry. Something tells me that Dr. Wily is gonna be quite busy. Now come on, I told you I was gonna pick the next reveal location. Let's go.
This is just our house.
It is! I just wanted to take it easy for today.
So, what are we gonna review?
Hold on, it should be here any minute.
Is that Starscream?
No! But you're close. The 80s were a special time for robots. Shows like Gundam, Macross, and Transformers were all the rage. Robot toys were trying to outdo each other, some more successful than others. Heck, even Michael Jackson got into the action. So it's no surprise that video game companies tried to cash in on the craze, and one of those companies cashed in with a robot that would take home computers by storm. That robot was Thexder. Nah, it's Thexder, the font's just trolling you. Thexder is a run-and-gun action game that was released in Japan in 1985. It was the first game developed and self-published by Game Arts, who were better known for the Lunar and Grandia series. Thexder ran on an NEC PC-8801 home computer. The game was an immediate smash hit, crushing all previous sell records and prompting them to port the game onto the MXX computers in 1987. The success soon caught the attention of an American-based company, Sierra Entertainment. Sierra quickly bought the publishing rights and ported the game onto various computers, bringing the game to a wider audience. These include MS-DOS, Tandy, and Apple computers. We grew up with the DOS version. The box cover claims that the game was made for 16-bit processors, which is an outright lie. I expected better from you, Ken and Roberta Williamses. Despite that, Thexder went on to sell over 1 million copies worldwide, cementing itself in video game history as one of Japan's great imports. Thexder's development was undertaken by two people, Kohei Ikeda, who worked under the alias Hobiki Godai, and Satoshi Yusaka. They had previously worked together several years back, porting a coin-operated card memorization game called Pairs to the MXX. Thexder's code and musical score was written by Hibiki, while Satoshi made the graphics and animations. Both men are credited in designing the game. They would go on to develop another popular shooter for Game Arts the following year, with Zilfid. That's a story for another time. Thexder's graphics were good, but what really made it stand out were the smooth animations. To put things in perspective, in 1985, Mario had 3 walking frames of animation. Thexder has 6. Many home titles didn't have this level of detail. Even enemies are fully realized with smooth rotation animations. The colorful lasers and explosions didn't make it into the DOS version, so it's less impressive to look at. It's still amazing what they managed to squeeze out of the weaker computers. Just look how smooth the game scrolls. Before games like Super Mario Bros. And Commander Keen, smooth scrolling was practically unheard of on home computers. Thexder was able to do it on weak hardware by using grid-based scrolling, which means the game only redraws graphic tiles that change. This made the game run well on low-end machines, increasing the game's reach and popularity. Sound quality varies from each machine. The DOS version sounds particularly bad. Every time you fire a laser or destroy an enemy, the music cuts out, so it's better to choose one or the other. Most ports of the game supported more sound channels, so they sound more impressive. The Omega and Apple IIGS versions even included a couple of voice samples.
Warning, intruder.
The music is a bit lacking. Booting up the title screen will greet the player with a rendition of Moonlight Sonata, the famous piano piece from composer Ludwig van Beethoven. Using songs from public domain is a common practice. The second song continuously loops during gameplay, and it was composed by Hibiki Godai himself. The song is a very heroic lead that becomes more perilous as it goes on, and it's a pretty good tune. But it isn't very long, so you'll probably grow tired of it looping all the time.
There's no sugarcoating it. Thexder is a brutally hard game. There's no checkpoint system or save function. If your energy hits 0%, it's game over back to level 1. There's 16 levels total, although some versions have less. Even with maps of all the levels, I spent a week on the game before giving up and using save states. Thexder's movement is controlled with arrow keys, a directional pad, or a joystick. Pressing up jumps. The height of the jump is determined by how long you press up. Pressing down causes Thexder to transform into a jet. Flying horizontally and pressing the opposite direction you're flying in will transform Thexder back into robot form, or you could just crash into a wall. Thexder is much easier to control with a joystick, but we had problems with the shield and fire button always being mapped to the same button, so we were forced to use a keyboard. This led to some truly frustrating gameplay moments, and finger cramping the likes of which you've never seen before. The fire button activates Thexder's laser, which automatically attacks nearby enemies, but also slowly drains energy. The laser loses its homing ability while in jet form. Thexder's energy is displayed at the bottom of the screen. Energy is collected by killing certain enemies. Some of them even raise the maximum energy you can carry. They're like power-ups that fight back. Thexder's laser will occasionally become attracted to invisible enemies. Shooting them reveals their location and grants a large energy and max energy bonus. These enemies are quite odd and include the ever-popular flower, the battleship Yamamoto, and a baby.
Wait, what? A Sierra game that actively encouraged shooting babies? That's way worse than Mortal Kombat and Grand Theft Auto, and it doesn't even fit in the sci-fi theme of the game. I expected better from you, Roberta!
Enemies stop moving once they leave the left or right side of the screen. By exploiting this, you can split up larger groups of enemies. You can also get them stuck in the environment by manipulating their movement patterns.
Throughout the game, Thexder fights things like blade meals, bats, missiles, even photons. That's right, Thexder is so badass, he fights light itself.
On the first day, God said, "Let there be light." And Thexder said, "No."
Oh, don't forget about the Clobster, or my personal favorite, the Throbster.
I don't think we should talk about the Throbsters.
Are you sure? There's a lot to talk about.
Moving on. While using the shield removes 10 energy points, it significantly reduces the damage and hurts enemies while you collide with them, making it the perfect defense when you're surrounded. Unfortunately, there's a catch.
And I hate catches. Well, except for Catch 22. That book's hilarious.
If you complete a level without using the shield, you're shielded with 100 points of energy, and your overall maximum energy cap will increase by 30 points. However, using the shield puts an end to these rewards, making the game much harder once you use the shield.
Game Arts made a sequel to Thexder in 1989. Thexder 2 Firehawk has better graphics and sound, and improved the gameplay formula by adding additional weapons, enemies, and more boss fights. It's a much better game overall. Sierra would release their own version of Thexder in 1995. It was designed to take advantage of the new Windows 95 operating system. Sierra added the ability to become a tank. The game received mixed reviews and sold poorly. The world wouldn't see another Thexder game until 2009, when Square Enix released a remake of the original Thexder called Thexder Neo. It was available for PlayStation Portable and the PlayStation 3. The outdated gameplay didn't fare well in reviews, and it was generally criticized.
Ultimately, Thexder's gameplay hasn't aged well, but it was revolutionary. While the steep difficulty will turn most players away, others will see it as one of the main draws. Transforming into a jet was a unique gimmick, reminiscent of popular toys and robot anime of the time. The platforming coupled with slick run-and-gun shooting cemented a new genre, and paved the new way for games like Metroid, Contra, and Turrican. For that, we thank you, Thexder. Any last thoughts, Carl?
I agree. The game is outdated and preposterously hard. Most modern gamers would probably give up by level 2. But if you give in and abuse save states, I think the game can be a lot of fun. Keep in mind, Thexder 2 is considered to be a much better game, so you might want to check that one out instead. If we ever pick up a copy, we'll share our thoughts.
Oh crap, Dr. Wily!
Wow. Guess we probably shouldn't have done the review here, huh, Max?
This is all Dr. Light's fault! What kind of genius builds a spaceship without weapons?